I just want to start this video by saying one thing. I love this game with all of my heart, and that's coming from someone who adores horror games but absolutely dreads playing them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll buy them and install the game, sit there all confident, and then spend an hour staring at the title screen like it's personally judging me. And look, as a cinephile, someone who worships films, who lives for that perfect shot or that haunting score, I'm about to say something that might get me stoned to death. Horror games are better than horror films. Yep, I said it. Yep, you can dox me, you can threaten me in the comments, I do not care. Said it, that's my hill, and I'll die on it smiling. Now, before we dive in, I've got to set the record straight on something. My favorite horror game of all time is Resident Evil 7. And you think that means I actually enjoyed playing it, right? Well, yeah, and no. My first playthrough was, as you'd expect, terrifying. The second one, on the other hand, was still terrifying. Look, my point is, they were both on the standard difficult. But then my ego showed up. It whispered to me, "Hoy, why not try Madhouse mode, eh? You know the game by now, right? You know where all the items are? Come on, chap, why don't you give it a crack, eh?" And like an idiot, I listened. At first, it wasn't so bad. Mia hit harder, took more bullets, fair enough. It's the hardest difficulty, I expected that. And it was still fun. Until I saw Jack.
Be careful. They'll be looking for you.
And I swear to you, I could be thrown into the foulest pits of hell itself and still not feel the same dread I felt running away from that sick bastard down those moldy Louisiana hallways. The screams that came out of me that night reached frequencies I didn't even know I was capable of.
Welcome to the family, son.
Now you're probably wondering, why am I talking about Resident Evil 7 in a video about Alan Wake 2? And for that I will simply say, trust me, it'll all make sense soon. So, grab a drink, get something to snack on, dim the lights, and settle in. Because Alan Wake 2 was better than I could have ever imagined. If you're like me, maybe you only played the prologue of the first game, or maybe you haven't touched Alan Wake 2 at all, then just know this. I won't be covering the entire game beat by beat. I'll be skipping some stuff and focusing on the big moments alone, which pretty much was the entire game for me, but you know what I mean. That said, this video will contain spoilers, so consider this your warning. Video be damned, please. Don't rob yourself of a genuinely unique experience. Play the game, then come back. Unless you don't really care, which is also totally fine. Now that that's out of the way and there's no guilt in me anymore, let's get into it. This script was one of the hardest things I've ever written, not because of how long this video is and how twisted and confusing this game can be, which it is, but because I could not stop circling back to the same point over and over again. Every time I try to write something new or make a new point, I'd find myself saying, "God, this game is so good." And honestly, you can't really blame me. Everything about this game is meticulously crafted. The lighting, the scenery, the sound design, the art direction. Oh my god, the art direction. Easily the strongest part of this game in my opinion, and no wonder it took home Best Art Direction back at the last Game Awards.
And the winner is... Alan Wake 2!
You play as FBI agent Saga Anderson, and she's, what can I tell you, she's a total badass. Smart, she's sharp, quick on her feet, and is absolutely obsessed by deer heads for some reason. And then there's her partner, Squidward. The game's called Alan Wake, so I was kinda surprised when it opened up with Saga instead of, well, Alan. I didn't realize you'd actually switch between them, which, for better or worse, ended up being a pretty great surprise. The first one made me feel like I'm Will Graham from Hannibal, while the other made me feel like a schizophrenic version of John Wick who was also a writer. At first, I was dreading Saga's segments. I just wanted to play as Alan as fast as possible because I thought his segments can be worse, right? Right? And then I finally got to play as Alan, and immediately wanted to switch back to Saga because his segments were what you'd call one big clusterfuck of a fever dream.
The dark presence. Fuck! 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 Fuck!
He makes Saga segments, parts of the game, look like child's play.
Fuck!
Oh. You missed, dumbass. Kind of it. I'm not gonna lie, I've been sitting on this menu for a good 5 minutes. I can't do this. No, you had to bring the fast enemies. Oh, I'm so fucked. If you've been around for a while, or if you know me personally, then you already know this about me. Gaming isn't just a hobby to me, it's my life. It's my favorite thing in the world. And I don't mean that in the competitive and adrenaline rush sense of it. I'm not chasing kill streaks or leaderboards. What I'm talking about is the soul of gaming, the true definition of gaming, and that is the story games. Because to me, and it's something I've always said and believed deep down, the truest form of gaming is found in its storytelling. And Alan Wake 2 is no exception. In fact, it has one of the most unique, haunting, and beautifully constructed stories I have ever experienced, and believe me, ladies and gentlemen, I have experienced a lot of stories, whether it's films, books, TV shows, games, and even among all of that, Alan Wake 2 stands as one of the most unique. This game has some of the best twists and turns I've ever seen, the kind that make even Hideo Kojima look like a mentally stable writer. There's one twist in particular in the end, and if you've played it, you know which one I'm talking about, that left me staring at the ceiling for a solid 5 minutes, just trying to process what the hell I'd witnessed. Everything in Alan Wake 2 feels intentional and crafted with love. And the dialogue, the atmosphere, the pacing, every moment feels like that the people behind this game really cared. They took their time, they didn't rush it, and you can tell, like some other developers out there. From start to finish, this game grips you and never lets go. And when I reached a town called Bright Falls and heard the word cult, let's just say I started kicking my feet like a kid on a Christmas morning, because cult horror is my shit. That's my thing. There's just something about the perfect mix of mystery, ritual, and psychological dread that scratches an itch nothing else can. Alright, the story. You play as Saga Anderson, an FBI agent sent to investigate a string of brutal murders. And just as she and her partner arrive in Bright Falls, surprise, another body turns up. And Saga doesn't think it was a coincidence. After meeting deputies Mulligan and Thornton, the team follows the trail into the forest, and that's where they find him. The corpse that turned wasn't just another victim. Alex Casey, Saga's partner, recognized him as
Nightingale. Robert Nightingale?
a former FBI agent who vanished 13 years ago, like many others, and only now he's shown up again. After some digging around in the Mind Place, basically Saga's mental crime lab where she stitches clues together, she uncovers something off. This murder was not random. It wasn't even ordinary by Bright Falls standards. It was part of a ritual, one that could not be completed without something called a clicker. No, not that clicker, for God's sake. Stay with me, alright? Just let me finish. In Alan Wake's universe, a clicker is a magical light switch. This thing is a reality-bending amplifier that lets you make permanent changes to reality itself through art. I know it sounds insane, but in this world it's Tuesday. Long story short, the cult had the clicker. They were ready to finish their ritual, but someone interrupted them. So Saga heads deeper into the woods, towards the lake, the same place she suspects Nightingale came from, hunting for anything that can connect these dots. And that's when the story really started scratching that itch I mentioned earlier. Saga finds a loose page, just one, a single sheet from what looks like a manuscript.
A page full of text on one side. Not a printout. Written with a typewriter. Old school. Lines scratched out and edits added with a pen.
Like a manuscript. Page of story. The killer left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us. The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale. And then there was the page they found. The first step down into terrifying depths.
Reading
the
words.
words.
These words felt like a message.
Felt like a message.
Someone knew they were here, someone playing a game with them. An invitation. How could they not accept, even if they knew it would end up hurting them?
Someone's been watching us.
Playing a sick game with us.
You were right. This is right up my alley.
The page perfectly describes the murder she's investigated. If you don't think that's cool, I'm sorry, but something is deeply wrong with you. This game is what you'd call peak storytelling. And honestly, Sam Lake, the lead writer and the creative director, the madman responsible for this fever dream of brilliance, and the one behind Alex Casey motion capture is, well, let's just say...
Dude, I'm not gay, but I'd go down on him if he asked.
Sometimes I don't know when you're kidding. And I have to know when you're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
I gotta know when you're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
This game does a great job of really touching your brain vigorously. In the best way possible, might I add. Not even an hour in, and you're already bombarded with questions that make you lean forward in your chair and really start turning them rusted cobwebs infested gears of yours. When Saga first arrives in Bright Falls and head into the police department, the town is in the middle of its annual Deer Fest, which is basically a celebration of, hey, nothing weird ever happens here in Bright Falls, if you know what I mean. Saga goes inside a diner to question the people responsible for interrupting the ritual, and that's when a waitress named Rose recognizes Saga and drops a bombshell of a twist I absolutely did not see coming.
Oh God. Saga! Saga Anderson. As I live and breathe. I thought we'd never see you back here after that awful, awful thing happened to your baby girl. How are you? I'm sorry. Who are you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's me, silly. Rose. You know me.
I don't think I do. And what horrible thing happened to my baby girl?
She drowned. Your daughter. That's so weird you don't remember.
How do you know I have a daughter?
Oh, I know what this is. You're blocking out your traumatic memories. Happens on TV all the time.
No. You're mistaking me for someone else.
If you say so.
This whole thing makes zero sense. This game opens up with Saga calling her daughter and talking to her. We even hear her voice. So she clearly is alive. But now this waitress is talking like the kid drowned. And here's the part that really fries my brain. If Logan is really dead, why didn't Alex Casey say anything about her? Why is nobody reacting like this is new information? And another very, very important detail, this is Saga's first time coming to Bright Falls. So 1, how does Rose know her name? And 2, how does she even know Saga has a daughter? In short, shit does not add up. After Saga returns to the police department, where I witnessed the greatest performance I have ever seen.
Oh no, a bear. Help. But Ilmo, I've heard the government has seized and restricted access to many local nature attractions. That is true, Jaakko. Many local attractions have recently become fenced off by the government. And that's why, at Koskela Brothers Adventure Tours, we say,
fuck the government.
Fuck the government.
After we head down, Nightingale is just, well, lying there. She starts examining the body, and the first thing you notice, aside from his penis, is the massive gaping wound in his chest where his heart should be. So what does Saga do? She reaches inside the wound like she's checking whether the Thanksgiving turkey is done, and what does she pull out? Go on, take a guess. A brand new controller. B, a Polish femboy's secret OnlyFans. Or C, a sponsor from Raid Shadow. I'm kidding. That would have been a cool sponsor transition. But anyway, no. She pulls out another manuscript page. A page that literally explains the weakness of the Taken. The Taken, by the way, are these victims who've been possessed by the dark presence and turned into violent, shadow-infested maniacs with anger issues the size of my ass. It's nuts. It's really cool. After everyone sees what was inside Nightingale, Sheriff Tim Breaker takes one look at the page and immediately recognizes it. He even says he has others, which, is kind of important information since these pages manage to predict the future. But before he can explain anything, the dark presence yoinks him out of existence, and right after, Nightingale rises from the dead.
Didn't see her. Could not see into bright light.
I'll make you pay.
He's coming. No weapon. The page said to get into the light.
After a brief, very unfortunate and uncomfortable moment where his manhood was dangling proudly in a dim light, we finally managed to grab our gun and shoot him in the head. Though, trust me, I really wanted to aim somewhere else. 2 clean shots straight to the dome, and Nightingale does exactly what Tim Breaker did.
Vanished.
Saga pieces it together. If she wants to reach Nightingale, she has to find what's called an overlap, basically a doorway into the other side. So she heads back to the lake, the place she suspects Nightingale disappeared into. But this time, the entire area is darker. That something's watching you kind of dark. After we reach the overlap, we reached Nightingale. After a brutal boss fight, Saga actually manages to talk to someone inside the overlap. Someone who clearly knows way more than they should. And the moment that conversation ends, someone out of absolutely nowhere gets dragged onto the shore.
Hey! Are you okay?
No! It's my fault! It got out with my face scratch!
Sir, calm down. I'm gonna need you to take a breath.
He's changed the story. The dark presence. We must stop it before...
Easy now. First things first. What's your name?
My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer. I've been...
Wake? Where did you come from? You've been missing for 13 years.
13.
And that's when we switch over to the infamous writer Alan Wake. Let me just say, his sections are some of the coolest, gorgeous, and straight up terrifying parts of the entire game. And that's not a knock on Saga at all, because holy hell, her story gets insanely interesting later on. As Alan, we wake up in what looks like a talk show set. Thank God it's not Jimmy Fallon, because I don't think I could handle the forced laugh on top of the horror. Alan wakes up on this talk show and he has no memory of ever agreeing to be here. He's sitting there looking like he's fighting for his life and trying not to shit himself, and apparently he's here to promote his new book.
Our wait is over. Your new book, Initiation, hits the shelves tomorrow.
What?
That's exactly what every reader will be asking. This book is mind-bending. It's so cerebral. I mean, how would you describe it? An auto-fictional thought experiment? A horror story? A postmodern detective story?
Wait. This isn't right. I haven't written anything.
He's so humble.
Okay, you got me. Good prank, very funny. But yeah, sad to say, I've not written this. I'd remember if I'd written a book, right?
Or maybe it was written by your evil double.
Holy shit. That line hit me way harder than it should have. There's something so fucking creepy about the way he says it. Like, he knows more than he's letting on and he is enjoying it. And if you don't know, the evil double he's talking about, his name is Scratch. We're gonna get into Scratch in a second because that's its own absolute fuckfest. But first, we need to understand this book they keep mentioning. You see,
Initiation tells the story of a fictional writer named Alan Wake, who is trapped in a nightmare, desperately trying to find the manuscript of a novel he has forgotten he has written. The book is set in New York, but it might not be New York at all. He is tormented by his dark doppelganger and guided by visions of a fictional detective he has written. That's right, Alex Casey is in this book as well.
I guess we'll just keep doing this the whole show. The joke's on me.
But isn't that what you sign up for with autofiction? Well, but seriously, I found the structure of the reality you build in the book fascinating. It reminded me of The Matrix. I mean, the writer is physically in his writer's room, trapped there, and he projects himself out to this dark dream of New York through the story he is writing. Like astral projection. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Go on. I should be taking notes here. This is great stuff.
Notes to that other Alan Wake in that room writing this as we speak? Are we all in your story, Alan?
As I'm editing this part right now, I'm getting chills again. This whole scene feels like you're watching a loop of some sort. Like Alan is trapped in a moment that keeps replaying and is only just now realizing he can't get out. And honestly, that idea isn't even a stretch because it lines up perfectly with something Alan says right after, that he needs to take notes of what's happening because it might help him later. And it kinda makes you wonder, what if Alan is writing what we're seeing? Like, what if none of this is happening in real time? What if we're inside something he already put on the page? When I watched this scene for the first time, the very first theory that slapped me across the face, and trust me, there are a lot of theories, ladies and gentlemen, was that this game is messing with time. I mean, full-on time warping, time loops, time bending, whatever the hell you want to call it, shenanigans. When I said this game has twists that could make Kojima look like a mentally stable writer, I was not kidding. Because a little further into Alan's section, he drops a line that made me pause the game completely.
I was a mess. I'd never heard of this talk show or Mr. Door before. None of it felt right. Was I losing my mind?
And that's when it hit me. This game does not stop. It just keeps stacking layers on top of layers on top of layers, and I'm here trying to come up with theories, hoping I'll sound smarter than I actually am. So who the hell is Mr. Door? Back when I was still early in the game, my first theory was that he might be related to Saga. Maybe a brother, maybe her husband. But we hear Saga's husband's voice when Loken supposedly slipped and fell and got injured.
Dad, it's Mom.
Don't worry, hon. Logan slipped in the shower and bumped her head. She has a slight concussion, but I'm keeping an eye on her. Lucky I heard her fall. She could have drowned.
And yeah, as you know, he does not sound like Mr. Door, not even close, which kinda left me with one answer. I personally think Mr. Door is somehow related to her. How? I don't know. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory! I'm sorry, I miss him, okay? Anyway, after progressing a bit further into the late night show set, when you slip backstage, something is there.
Something in the studio with me. I had to get out.
This is the ritual to ritual.
Waking up from the nightmare, I felt like a drowning man gasping for air. This place felt familiar. A ghost of a memory surfaced, about riding here for countless days.
Alan wakes up in what looks like his mind place, and the first thing we see is a plot board. And on that plot board, there was
a summary of the story so far, but other notes as well. Warnings. I had written them. I couldn't remember what it all meant. The name Scratch filled me with dread. I could trust these words. I had to act on them. You must write to escape.
And just like that, we're thrown right back into the talk show. So yeah, exactly like I said earlier, it's a loop of some sort. The same scene, but not quite the same. Because now, Alex Casey himself is sitting beside him. Before we continue, I just want to say something really quickly. If you've made it this far into the video, I'm gonna assume you're actually enjoying yourself, or at least you're confused in a fun way, like I was playing this game. So, with all my heart, and genuinely, thank you for being here. It means a lot. And hey, if you want to help your boy out, maybe drop a like or leave a comment. It really does boost the algorithm and pushes the video to more people. Alright, enough of that, let's get back to it. Alex Casey is suddenly here. and apparently he's promoting a new film adaptation based on an Alan Wake story. And if you guessed it, yes, this is the same Alex Casey we see with Saga. Not the character, the man, my pokey honeycomb bear Sam Lake himself. It's weird as hell, and I do not blame you if you're confused, because I sure was. But you're smart enough to keep up, right? Right? Since he's here to promote the new film, the talk show does what talk shows always do. They play you a little clip, and I want you to pay close attention to what he says.
We have a clip from the new film, Murder Case Casey. Should we roll it, or do you want to say something first, Sam?
Nah, just roll it.
This city was an old scar that refused to heal. The rain made it fester. It needed the sun, but there was only the night. I was tired. Insomnia covered me like a plastic film. I was watching the world through a rain-slick window, my own reflection haunting the view. I was trying to track down a missing writer. My only clue was a table lamp, shaped like an angel. The only thing to shed light on this sordid mystery.
That's great! Murder Case Casey! Great job, Sam! Very exciting and very meta. I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Wait, stop. What was that about a writer? About a lamp?
After that little nugget gets dropped into my brain and starts growing arms and legs and doing theory push-ups, we're snapped back into the empty, dark version of the talk show. And as we try to leave again, through the same hallway where the dark presence chased us before, we hear a man singing. We open the door, and it's a janitor named Ahti, casually mopping the floors like this isn't a nightmare dimension, and for some reason keeps calling me Tom. He tells me the way out is through the basement, and that he left something for me in a shoebox. Inside the shoebox, there was a lamp. And I don't know about you, but this lamp felt
significant. A tool for bringing light to the darkness.
And if you want to know what that lamp does, well, yeah, remember the clicker? You know, that little light switch that can literally change reality? Yeah, that switch, remember that one? Remember it? I don't remember back in the... It was cut from this same lamp. The clicker belonged to this lamp. As we finally leave the talk show set, we're hit with an absolutely stunning view of New York, or, well, a darker version of it. And almost immediately, a phone starts ringing. That's when Alan picks up the phone and he's hit with this sense of a deja vu.
There are spies all over. Shadows.
A sense of deja vu washed over me. Had I had this conversation before?
Alan, listen to me carefully. Caldera Street Station, the subway. You need to go there.
And that just feeds right back into my loop theory. So, how do you escape a loop? Honestly, I don't know. But the man on the phone says there's only one thing we need to do. Reach the subway. And just before we can get any other answers or information, well...
Hello?
The line goes dead. On the subway, which by far was the creepiest part of the game for me, and maybe that's personal because the shadow people I used to see as a kid, well, yeah, they're back now. And there is a lot of them. But if you think the subway is just a destination, you couldn't be more wrong. Because the path there is blocked. And once again, we need a light we can absorb so we can use the lamp to open the way just like we did before. Anyway, after some exploring, actually taking in the scenery, I run into someone very familiar. Tim Breaker. If you don't remember him, he's the sheriff that vanished when he tried to show us the other pages back in the police station. And once again, This game does an incredible job at making your skin crawl because Tim Breaker acts like he's already spoken to us before. He says he's still looking for someone, the same person we saw on the board earlier. Now let's see if you've been paying attention. Who is that someone? That's right, it's Mr. Door. So yeah, clearly this guy is going to be important. We just don't know how yet. Let that little nugget fester for a bit, because trust me, we haven't seen the last of Mr. Door or Tim Breaker. And remember when I said earlier in the video that I'd only be covering the big moments? Yeah, turns out the entire game is big moments, and I generally don't know how to talk about it without turning this video into a 3-hour breakdown. So, here goes nothing. After exploring the train station and realizing we can now change the world by writing, let's just say something really didn't like that.
The dark presence. Fuck! I couldn't hear the dark presence. It was gone. The tunnel was open. I could hear the shit. The dark presence. I had seen it before. I remembered now. It was always out there, hunting me.
And at the end of it, we find Nightingale, heart ripped out. And as we progress just a tiny bit, we manage to talk to Saga. Just like we saw earlier back in the overlap when we fought Nightingale. Only now, I started to think we weren't talking to her in the present, but from the past.
Who are you?
She can hear me.
I'm Saga Anderson, FBI.
This is Alan Wake. I'm trapped here. The dark place, under Cauldron Lake.
Cauldron Lake? Who are you?
I'm trying to escape. I'm making progress, but I'm in danger. The dark presence. Help me. Please, help me.
I could sense it. I was closer to home. Had the woman in the vision helped me somehow? Something had changed. Outside. Parliament Tower. Where I'd lived with Alice. It was out there. Waiting for me.
Alright, now we can finally get to the meat and potatoes and really start nerding out about this game, because if you thought that that was the end, oh boy, strap in lads! This is either where I completely fuck this up or absolutely nail it. As we leave the train station through the tunnel, something is wrong. The city has changed. A massive tower has appeared, the same one where Alan used to live with his wife, Alice. And when we finally reach it, Alice reveals something terrifying. Scratch, Alan's doppelganger, is hunting her. After that crazy revelation and that we know our wife is in severe danger because Scratch, pretty much a demon, is hunting her, the game switches back to Saga. And I should be honest with you, I went straight back to Alan because his part of the game was just too interesting at the time. And I'm glad I made that choice, because that decision led me straight to what I now call my personal Elysium.
What the hell?
From what I've
the
gathered, you grew up
fuck
nice
is
and
going
sheltered
on?
with Mama's pretty stories and your own made-up feel.
I'm not even kidding. The speed at which my face went from a confused to a genuine smile was insane. When I first saw this song being performed at the Game Awards, I had no idea what was happening. I still don't, but let's just say I had the time of my life. Moments like this are exactly why this game holds such a special place in my heart. Oh my god! Yeah! I'll show you the Herald of Darkness! Yeah! The thin never-ending night! Oh my god! I love this game! Dude! This is so better. I'm legitimately fucking crying. This game is so cool. Oh, I love it. Whoever thought that this was a good idea, I want to give you a hug. It probably was Sam Lake, wasn't it? Now, calm down. Just because we had a lot of fun, that doesn't mean you gotta get comfortable. Because things are about to get a lot darker when we pick up Alan again. Or so that was the plan. Hello, this is me from the future. I'm sad to say that there isn't going to be a part 2. Not because I got lazy, don't get that twisted. It's quite the exact opposite actually. The script is finished. Every footage or clip is captured and is ready to go. All that's left is the editing and, well, my voice. So why stop here when everything is already done? Because, to be quite frank with you, the more time I spent with this game, the more it became clear to me I can't do it justice like this. Alan Wake 2 isn't a game you explain, or it isn't something you summarize or talk over or turn into a video essay without losing something essential. This game needs silence, it needs your attention, and I refuse to be the reason that experience gets it. So, if this video, if anything I said pushed you even one play this game, I implore you, listen to that one print. And I am saying this, I'm saying all of this and I'm not even sponsored, for God's sakes. I stayed away from the heavy spoilers for a reason, especially near the end, because taking that away from someone would be unforgivable. I don't think I could even sleep at night. What this game builds towards, you deserve to feel that on your own. And I believe this is a great time to answer a question you probably have about why did I bring up Resident Evil 7 at the start of this video, since I've called that game my favorite horror game of all time for years. But I would like to say that that title doesn't belong to it anymore. Alan Wake 2 is the best horror game I have ever had the privilege of playing, and I don't think anything is coming close to it for a very, very long time. Whew, finally done, Jesus. Well, anyways, if you reached this point of the video, you probably didn't, because I don't think anyone would watch my entire videos, but if you had, for some reason, I want to say thank you. But my god, all that talking, I feel quite hungry.
Wake up! Pull yourself together, Henry.
hand anything on a platter to men like you and me.
You still have a long way to go till your work is done.
O merciful God, be kind and protect us so we don't blow our arses off. Amen.